Welcome everybody to the last night of the ESL Pro League here in North America for just this season. I'm Moses, I'm joined by Blue. We're going to bring you this culminating action we have tonight, deciding who exactly is going to be going to the playoffs that will be in the UK next month. But before we do that, one last time we're going to run you through how this tournament works out, because there were 12 teams in Europe, 12 teams in North America playing the regular season online. We already have the European competitors figured out for the finals. That's going to be NIP, Astralis, G2, and why am I missing someone? Fnatic, yes. How could I forget the Fnatic? But they will be the four from European that make those LAN finals. But in North America, we still have to figure it out, because during this online regular season, they have been competing not only for money, but the big prize is the top 4 spots through the standings that will bring us to the UK. You can see it there, $125,000 broken down between the 5th and 12th seeds throughout the regular season. And then, like we've mentioned many, many times, the big prize is qualifying for those finals. And there's still about 5, maybe even 6 teams that actually can possibly make it to the finals, all which is decided tonight.
And at that LAN finals, there's going to be a very top-heavy $200,000 going to the first place victors. Second place taking home is a very nice prize of $90,000. Going down from there, of course, the total prize pool for the LAN finals is going to be just over $512,000, and the total prize pool for both online seasons and the LAN combined is going to be about $750K. Yeah,
and then we'll bring up the standings so you guys can just check out where everyone is at the moment, because it's still insane. We do have Luminosity highlighted there because they have locked in. They have a spot in the finals. I think their seed is still technically up for grabs. Very off chance that they lose that first seed. But Optic, Cloud9, Liquid, Selfless, NRG, all with chances to make it into the finals. They're all playing for that win. I think even Renegades has some kind of outside chance, very small percentage, that if everyone else loses tonight, they can somehow win a tiebreaker and get in. But for the most part, it's just those 5 teams who are going to be competing tonight for those spots.
And of course, the big match that we'll be looking forward to is going to be Renegades versus, or probably not Renegades, Selfless versus Luminosity.
Yeah.
Messing up early tonight.
Yeah, it's all right. Just the last day. Well, let's just pull it all. We'll get through it. But we will check out the matches that we had just on Sunday. Over the weekend, we had some big days. So if you missed Sunday, this also had some massive implications for the playoff race. Obviously, the second matchup of the day, Team Liquid and Selfless, that was the big one where they split the 2 games 1-for-1. Cloud9 did win both of theirs versus Splice to give themselves a little bit of boost. They probably have the biggest chance of making the playoffs. But Liquid and Selfless going to have some big games today. We will be checking out Selfless. But if you missed these matches on Sunday, we did put together a recap video for you so that you guys can check it out, so you don't miss anything heading into this final and important day. Tonight, we're going to start out with NRG versus Splice. Is going to be our first doubleheader, so both of those teams are going to be huge. Now we're going to be going into train. We do have all 10 members in the server.
Justin in a little bit of an awkward position here with that player behind E-Box pressuring him. Also keep in mind, too, that you're going to have Jason R rolling up from the alternate tunnel, but doesn't really end up working out so well. Justin is casually mopping the floor with the final 3 players here from Splice. Takes all 3 of them down. Gets the 4K here.
Welcome back. We are going to have the second doubleheader of the day. Kona versus CLG. The op lands, brings him down to 20 HP. Still trying to just have a good angle behind this truck, and actually the flashbang works nicely. Fugly falls. This is doable. Ocean's here as well. And Vice has not been cleared out. Cutler does eventually find him, but Ocean pushes his way out. Now Cutler's got to win that battle, but he can't do it. Nice recovery from Ocean and Vice. Puts their first round on the board, but welcome back. This is going to be the second map between Splice and CLG. Train will be the map.
No risk at all here, so just Tarek and Hayes left. They have placed themselves outside of the...
What?
He does have a flank. He has managed to successfully sneak around, so maybe can steal away 1 kill, but that's probably the largest thing he's going to be able to find here.
Go for the knife.
Yes. Cut it out. They're going to find it too when he peeks out again. Nope.
Now we do it.
Nope.
What is happening right now? It's like one of those old school games where like the NPC goes in like the same movement. Come on. I've had enough. Yes.
There you go.
It was well worth the wait. Welcome back to end the evening. It's going to be Winter Fox versus Kona. First match is going to be on Inferno.
All right, well, we are getting started now, guys. We're going on the D side and starting things off. XP3, Hades picking up 2 kills. Hades, 2 for himself, and Anger just runs up behind him and finishes him off.
The next one will be Luminosity versus Renegades. It's going to be on Train. Flashbang. He finds Jake. Yeah, it's going to go for more, though. A little overzealous. Yam finds him, evens things out by Fallen. He's not ready for it. Oh, and Fallen jumps to the left. Yam finds that kill, but Yam's got 4 kills. Going for an ace here. Pop flash is going to work, and now he knows Taco's not on the bomb, and he gets it. All 5 kills for Yam. Welcome back, everyone, to ESL Pro League. Last doubleheader of the evening. Optic versus CLG. Throws burns Fugly. Stan's able to find that on Hayes, even though Hayes got the jump on it.
Stanislaw is watching out for something like this, but the question now is JDM going to peek all the way over, and he's not going to do so in time, so Stanislaw just taps it away. Not going to work out, though. And Stanislaw fires too early, but doesn't matter. He finds another kill, and the final one. Stanislaw does all this with just 12 HP.
We'll be going live soon into Cloud9 versus Splice. On overpass. Nothing. He chimes in with 1 kill. He's the only one at the B site. He's got so much to deal with. That smoke has faded. He's got no more cover, but the movement is really well done. Nothing staying on top of things. 3 kills for him, holding this off. Davies the last one left, and nothing. 4 kills for him. Meanwhile, and there's Shroud. He gets out, and Davey finds him. That's a nice shot. He's got to go for more, but he's not prepared for that angle. He's scoped in, so he can't see it. 1 on 2, and Stewie ends it. So 16-5 is the final score. Now we're going to get into Liquid and Selfless here on Cash. It's fast boost up. They're running through fire, though. They're fighting inside the Molotov. Adren and Elise are going to eat this up. They're loving it at the moment. 3 kills so far. Relics does respond with 2, but the damage is done.
Nifty bouncing his way back up there. Relics, nicely done. Just 1 taps Kusta. Now he's dead, and that's actually going to kill the flank from Nitro, too, although he might reignite it now that he heard the vent spray.
It's Hika who's going investigating. Very risky that he just swung out wide, and that's a nice boost over. Relics has 4 kills on this round. How has this turned around so much for Liquid? They had such a good start to it, and it's just falling apart.
It's like the 3rd one that Relics connected, but did not want to actually peek out to take the kill on, so Hiko's still sneaking in. He's made some noise. They know where he is, but Relics is going to pull off the ace, shutting down Team Liquid slowly but surely. And now they're down a man, 3v5 to try and pull this off. Nitro finds the first one, jumped up inside of the corner. Mitch finds a trade for it, but Adren jumping out of that smoke. He finds one on a Mitch, looking for another one, and that's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. Team Liquid take the second map. They take it 1-1.
And that was some of the action over the weekend, but today it all comes down to this 1 final, or 2 final matches that we're going to be showing on stream. There's actually 12 games that are going on today. 6 are going to be played at each time, so no team really knows what exactly is happening until they're done with at least 1 match. The first match we will be showing on the stream is going to be Selfless versus Luminosity. Very important for these playoffs. We mentioned Luminosity's already in. Selfless is fighting for their life in the playoffs, and here's how we're going to do it. This is the first matchup. If Selfless loses this one, it makes it very, very difficult for them to qualify. So they happen to lose this match. We're going to switch over to NRG and Optic, both of which are fighting also for the playoffs. There will also be a Liquid versus Splice matchup, which has big implications, because if Liquid wins those, then and Selfless loses a game, then they're out. So, Liquid would get in. But if Selfless does happen to beat Luminosity in this first match, which they have done previously in the season, and previously in online in other online seasons, then we will also watch their second matchup between the 2 of them as well.
And this is actually a battle, like you said before. The big thing is that Selfless has actually beaten Luminosity in a best-of-3 as of recently. I think it was just about a month ago, where they played them in the iBuyPower Invitational that was taking place online, and they beat them in the semifinals. They're a very, very close series, but at the end of the day, Selfless ended up coming out on top.
Yeah, which is some very, very cool stuff, obviously, knowing that they can compete, and also Luminosity already locked in. But it does always come down to this is why we're playing 6 games in a row, because if Selfless loses and Liquid wins their first match, then essentially Liquid's going to make it in. If Selfless wins and Liquid wins, then they're still very much tied, so we still have to go forward and see if Selfless can take Luminosity in 2 maps. So nothing has been decided over these past weeks. This is where North American Counter-Strike gets really, really cool, because everyone, while not the most beautiful and prettiest Counter-Strike, it just gets really exciting as the season comes to a close with all these different ties. 5 teams can still make it in. 5 teams can still get eliminated. And we're happy to have you guys tuning in. I know we also have, viewers from around the world. I know Pansy and Natsu are watching over in Germany right now.
Yep, we need to see the conclusion.
Sitting at a bar with a double gin and tonic. Lucky.
Calming down from the chaos of the European ones.
Yeah, that was a cool day. If you guys didn't catch the European action, definitely check out some of those VODs over the coming days. But I mean, to get into this match just a little bit, it's very interesting. I actually just ran into Maven, one of the Call of Duty casters outside, who's really hyped. He's a little bummed he can't watch the Selfless matchup because 2 of their stars are actually coming from the Call of Duty scene, Mitch and Nifty.
Are they really?
Yes.
Those are like the two newest acquisitions as well.
Yeah, they're
I think
former Call of Duty players.
Rio scooped. I know Nifty recently up from a Premier level team. I don't know
Yes.
where Mitch came from though.
I do not know all the details on it either. But either way, there's no question that they've just been monsters for the season. Those are the two players. I mean, this is a team that essentially a lot of people just kind of said they don't have a chance anymore. Kusta left. He was the driving force for them to get from Premier to the Pro League to the Invite level, and he was a big part of their success in the Pro League and Invite level last season. His acquisition by Team Liquid essentially made, I mean, myself included, thought this team wouldn't be able to compete at this level. No reason to think that they wouldn't be able to at least be like middle of the pack, but for them to be this high competing for the playoffs in the last day is actually pretty crazy. But they have a tall task. Luminosity is right in their path on Inferno, which is a strong Luminosity map. Player to watch for LG, Taco at the moment. You could pick Cold Zera, you could pick Fallen. I mean, we've seen these guys, they just won the major, so you know, on the other side, Uber for Selfless over the past few seasons has been improving steadily from season to season, so he is definitely a player to keep your eye on. Pretty talented, very good as well with his fundamental movement.
Those players to watch come from the last time we saw these two face each other in that best of three. Taco was the swing player that did not perform very well for Luminosity and, you know, could certainly say was part of the reason why Luminosity ended up dropping that set, whereas for Selfless, Uber was that big man to play. So you're going to want to be looking to him to catch that, but we are live now. Luminosity will start on the T side. It's going to be on Inferno, and Selfless jump onto the CT side. Already in the action, Mitch is going to be cornered and carved. Nobody sees him, however. He's not able to find that first kill. A little bit awkward with the angle to work with, and Fallen's going to be able to take him down, but he does get some good damage on the Taco before falling.
Yeah, and Cole just watching for the rebuttal from Selfless, but he loses that battle. And look at this, there's no control anywhere for Luminosity now that Cold has fallen. So this banana attack, they're boxed in. They can't fall back, they'd have to fight their way out. They can't push forward because they have to fight their way out, so they're just gonna have to choose to go for it. Nifty and Uber have to hold strong as Taco enters into the site. That's a good opening kill, but the trade from FNX, the big impact fragger, he's trying to swarm over this bomb site. It's too much for Uber to do.
And now for sitting himself back as well. He's got control. He's boxing out the remaining members of Selfless here, but mainline looking for a way back in, trying to check those headshot angles and see if they can get lucky with anybody peeking outside of it, but it's not the case. Both of them are going to be retaking back in through the main CT entryway. Not going well, though. Fallen, he's picked up the first shot on the main line. He does respond with one more pickup, but FNX will take him down and give Luminosity the pistol.
FNX and Fallen getting all 5 kills between the two of them. Really nicely handled from LG when they had all their options taken away. That's what's a little bit of a bummer from Selfless, is they played that pistol round really, really well and still weren't able to take the win from it. They take away any option LG has of falling back from Banana. They know exactly where they're going to go, and they have a quick flank setup as well. And LG still manages to swarm over and take that B bomb site. So 1-0 for Luminosity, and a nade stack coming in from Selfless. 2 nades down mid, do decent damage. All 3 actually bring Fur down towards 51, but that's not going to stop him.
For finding that first kill, but yeah, like you said, not really going to do anything in the way of actually putting a stoppage to Luminosity, but they just take it slow in this round, as you would generally expect. Watching out to make sure Selfless don't do anything super aggressive, and they're caught off guard by that when they actually go for the take on the site. If they can kill 1, 2 of these players before they actually get into it, then it should be a walk in the park from that point forward to stack up a second round onto the board.
Banana control has been taken by Luminosity, so I mean they're only going against pistols and no utility is left, so everyone on the Selfless side has got to be a little bit passive with a man down. Mitch and Nifty are kind of crossfired over towards A, and then Relics and Uber playing a little bit of a bait setup in the B bomb site, but Luminosity so good on these anti-ecos as well. I mean, Fur, Cold with the MAC-10s, these are guys, I know it seems almost silly to say at times, but their ability to use the MAC-10 is actually pretty crazy. Very, very good players with it. Usually, obviously, going against unarmored opponents, so it's not like you know, you can praise them too much for it, but it is pretty impressive.
So now that the timer's getting a little bit lower, they haven't gotten anything else from Selfless, but obviously do need to take control of a site here soon. So with that banana control, they're going to move up. 3 of them are ready to go for the entry onto the site. And it's going to fall now to Relics and Uber to hold things out, but with a minimal investment. And this is the usual thing, sort of what we expect from Selfless here. It should be a pretty easy time to shut these players down. Although Relics picks up 1 kill, that's going to be about it. Fallen and Cold Zera take care of the rest of the party members here from Selfless, and they're going to try to wrap back around. They box him in once more, but for the most part, just going to be trying to find some exits.
Yeah, no real investment as well. And there's one last MAC-10 kill from Fur, but no real investment from Selfless. They don't buy up armor. They just upgrade some pistols. They had that early nade stack, but they'll go into the 4th round and they'll be able to have some utility. All the M4s they need, and even Nifty is on about 3,600 right now, so he'll be able to get that op in the next round. Might be a little bit light on armor. but overall a good conservative economic game early on from Selfless.
By the way, guys, since there are 6 or 5 other matches being played currently, we will try our best to keep you in the loop as to the status of those other matches while this one is being played. We know there may or may not be streams available for some of those, and you'd like to keep up with your favorite teams. The live stats should be available on ESCA's website if you want to track it, but we'll do our best to update you as the game goes forward here as well. But anyway, back into this round, another eco here for Selfless as they're still building up that bank to try and get into their first run. They're going to try something interesting as they push 4 players, now 3 down Banana, but things not going very well here. They're going to attempt to overrun up Finex. It works, but he gets 2 before he ends up falling, so it's not the most efficient trade in the world, but they find an AK out of it.
Yeah, the only issue is there's no way they can save this. Already on the hunt is Cold. He's got the first one. He knows Mitch is there, and just there's that MAC-10 play that I was talking about. Nice shots from Cold. So they save the AK-47. Selfless can't bring that forward, but there's the op buy from Nifty. He's going to have light armor. He can get some nades as well. Goes actually for kit flash, but you can just see, without that second round investment of armor, how much Selfless is able to bring to that. 2 Molotovs, 4 smokes to use. This is some utility buildup that you don't normally see in the CT side in the 4th round. Taco's going to stay on that MP7. Fallen's got the op of his own on this T side. 3 members are going to stream up alternate. Selfless, they did this on the pistol round as well, but it seems like it's a big priority. There's 3 players over towards B initially in these rounds. They want to have control of Banana. They want to deny that from Luminosity.
And so as things are still being taken slow here, Selfless actually a little bit scared themselves of peeking their heads out into the action here. Nifty looks like he might be going for it in a second, but that's going to be dangerous with Falling waiting out for it. Has Uber pressing it first, but he's going to get taken down by FNX. Nifty does find the trade, so it's an even blow. Now he's going to have to fall back, though, and Relics, unfortunately, will have to draw his attention a bit more to the B-bomb site, which could leave the A site defenses pretty weak.
LG really hasn't done much to probe up mid to see what they can find. Fur just now, they've smoked off left, they've pop flashed up, so that's going to allow some control of LG. Taco eats a decent nade. It's from mainline. And he's just biding his time, but they take control of brackets and they fall away. So essentially what that does, you can see on the mini-map, the defense is kind of frozen there. Double pit, but it's Relics who has to decide, because they don't have the information if Luminosity has fallen back or if they're just staging up for a hit. He's got to be the rotator. He's going to be the important decision maker to see which bomb site he leans to.
As they slowly creep up towards it now. Same thing as that last round. Waiting the time down quite a bit here. But mainline is going to get more aggressive, pushing up to the porch area, hugging himself in that little cubby inside of it for the time being. But Luminosity are getting ready to go inside. He's going to have to come up with a big play here because there's no escaping this position. Smoke starts to fade. There's a flashbang connected on one of LG's players, but it's not enough. Cold's going to take him down. The defenses fall once more. Some good damage is done to Luminosity, but now Mitch is under pressure. He's going to get mollied out of his initial position. Holds as Hako pushes himself outside onto the balcony there. And also, mollies are well placed too. 8 seconds left. I don't even know if Luminosity are going to be able to pull this off. They're going to try to rush into the site, but Relics and Nifty pick up 2 more kills, and Fallen falls himself. So Selfless will rack up their first round onto the board in the first gun round with a nice shutdown on the A-bomb site.
Yeah, that was very, very slow and very passive from Luminosity, especially after getting that first kill. No real progression as the time's running down. It almost seemed like they were waiting and expecting Selfless to make one more mistake that it would really open up the site for him, but it never came. So nice patience in the pit. I believe that was Mitch. Gets a kill, just stays alive. They get their first round. They've got to string them together. Don't want to get reset here. There's still pretty decent money on LG on a couple players. Taco and Cold have a decent amount. Fast-paced up alt mid and fast-paced up Banana for Luminosity. They switch things up. So they've taken some early control. Mainline and Mitch as well, aggressive on the defense in these halls. This is going to be a very, very critical battle on an important round for Selfless.
For inside of that window room now, waiting to see if he can get inside of it, but there's a lot of pressure from the CTs and mainline, along with some assistance from Mitch. They're just going to swipe Taco away. Fur did move himself inside of the window room. Unfortunately, the remaining members from Selfless that were in there just moments ago have now fallen back outside of the balcony, so no way they're going to be able to catch that trade, and they will get the early advantage, but now moving in through that mid choke, but they take early control here, but keep in mind, Selfless has been playing much further back on their angles here. Fur did push up, but he's been smoked out now too, so Luminosity just not having any luck at all here with these pushes early on in the round.
That smoke in halls was very well timed. You could see how aggressive Fur wanted to get to try and peek out, try and find a kill, but he gets forced back. Now with the man advantage as well, Selfless can be a little bit more of a turtle setup. You can see in the bomb site, no one's really getting aggressive anywhere, just mainline peeking into halls to see what he can find with the pop flash. There's another smoke to run this timer down, and this is aggressive. Is he going to push all the way through this? That would be nuts, and he is.
That's the bomb.
Yeah, and it looked like he wanted to do some trigger discipline, but he doesn't do it. Second kill for him, and he holds on. That's a sick play, walking right through that smoke. Unexpected.
And now Mitch moving around to try and catch the stragglers, and he's going to indeed grab one. That's coldzera going down, Fallen, looking to bring this back under his team's control, but same problem as the last round. Only 18 seconds left on that clock, and he's in a 1v4. He's retrieved the bomb, but he's only got 8 HP. There's no way he's taking this thing to a site. So now a choice, either die in the next 8 seconds or try and save that gun for the next round. Jumping outside, but he'll be caught by Uber before he can even get a gun out onto the ground. So a second one goes up onto the board for Selfless, and that may just prove to be enough to break Luminosity and force them onto a save. Yeah,
they needed a plan if they wanted to have some kind of a force buy. They can only really get one AK, but what a play from mainline. The initial kill and then re-pushing right through the smoke as the clock is winding down without any information. He makes the play that's going to find things, and they can afford to do that with a man up. They can afford to give away a body if he was somehow punished, but it works out perfectly for him. So 2 straight Luminosities on pistols, only 2 members with armor. Taco's got a smoke flash, so they've got just enough for essentially one very, very weak light execution to see if they can get a couple kills in the bomb planted.
Taco is going to press himself forward here now outside of the long haul with the rest of his teammates either inside of the apartments or just around the corner. They're still going with very, very straightforward A executes here now, but slowly trying to tide the temper. Oh, Nifty unscopes at probably the worst possible time. Would have had a perfect shot on Taco, but it doesn't play off, and now he takes some damage from that too.
Yeah, I imagine this is going to spur Luminosity forward. They know there's not an op on ramp side because they spotted him in the bomb site, so now they're going to attack over toward Spawn, the rap side. There's mainline. He's got to hold strong. Does a little bit of damage. Falls back. They're going to chase him down, though. Fur's going to lead the way. That flash isn't going to do much. Can he adjust in time? No. Doesn't get any kills, but Relics is here for the save. He sprays down 3. Nice recovery from Selfless, and Nifty with the ult. Gets 1 more. Cold is still alive, and he salvages the AK and the bomb, and he's also got armor, so he can do a little bit more damage to the economy, but a win might be asking too much.
Taking it back to the A-bomb side as well might be a little bit risky. 2 players were already here. However, you look at the positioning now, and he's actually read this quite well, and the 2 players shifting outside. And when it comes to actually getting onto that site and taking down the defender, Nifty's ready to go. Connects that op shot, finishes off the remaining member of Luminosity, and now is going to be able to tie the game up here. But at the same time, Luminosity, they're going to get another buy going, and Selfless themselves have not really established an economy just as of yet. So they're within range to immediately break them or put them onto a very, very iffy force if they can strike back now.
Op still in Nifty, and he's going to go towards mid. It looks like they want to be aggressive down mid. So this is Selfless. They want to take control of this match, and they want to at least punish any kind of presence in mid from LG. But Fallen gets the first kill. There's the pressure down Banana. Good trades. Now on a 4-on-3, but this is where Luminosity, they can really outmaneuver their opponents in these kind of mid-round situations. If Selfless isn't on top of this, the aggression has kind of split Relics off from the rest of his team, so he can fall pretty easily, and this can quickly turn into a 3-on-3.
And re-smoke over on top of that bomb, and of course you still have Fur inside of Mexico now waiting for his chance, but Relics, good movements from him, gets himself out of the hot zone. They're going to let Luminosity get back control of things.
That's a very, very smart play, because he was exposed. He was isolated from his team. Even with an advantage, it's a very dangerous situation to be in, because your teammates are also aggressive and put in a little bit of awkward spots trying to bail you out and trying to support you if need be. So him getting away allows them to readjust and do a more stable defensive setup. You can see 2 towards the B bomb site, 2 towards A, and even the swing players, Mitch and Uber, they're playing very, very ready to rotate to either bomb site.
And they'll move themselves in, again, looking for the entry back over here towards the A-bomb site. Nifty, he's in the pit. The smoke that was going to make this initial shot so hard to connect, and also he's been mollied out too, but he finds his first mark on the Cold, and Uber's arrived, the cavalry, just in time as he takes down Taco. The last man alive, Fur, tries to make that last-ditched attempt push back over here by the porch side, but it just does not pay off. Nifty rips it to shreds, and that's a very clean round from Selfless, something we had not seen up to this point. There's been some pretty heavy trades, but now they kick up the aggression. Luminosity were not expecting that, and they also do a good job of evacuating those players, as you said, so they're going to take minimal losses this time around, getting a good chance to actually build up their bank.
Yeah, and Luminosity hasn't even really gotten close to a bomb plant in these 4 wins. So, I mean, this is why you're seeing so many just back and forth, because Luminosity is known, I mean, they do like to have some of those 2 rifle buys with Tech 9s and Deagles behind it. They're not able to do it, though, because they're not getting some of that bonus money from the bomb plants. All they have is the 4-round losing bonus at the moment. And with these pistols, no smoke, they're just going to line up towards the B bomb site, all 5 in Banana. So no control, and this is essentially where they've dedicated this round to.
Very, very slow, just like many, many rounds in the past now, but they get themselves up to car quickly enough. and they're getting ready to overwhelm this site now. Not a lot of utility to make this work, really only that single flash, but it's perfectly connected on the Relics. He cannot peek out from this position. Uber's trying to tap away, but he himself is only going to take some damage. They lose his teammate, but he found one before he went down, and now he's got two for himself. But at 11 HP, going to be able to get some assistance finally from mainline, but Fur strikes back against that. However, Fur's now alone. He's picked up a rifle, but he's got no armor and only a Molotov to support him with this, and also Relics is still alive on that bomb site. That molly might force him out of position, but that smoke is going to help out. Oh, I was about to say that smoke's going to help out a lot, but apparently not, as Fur does get a lucky tap off there and find him within the smoke. Now a 1v2 though, and he's going to get picked off by Nifty.
Yeah, tough angle for Fur to be able to predict. Nice shot from Nifty. Pretty good damage dealt though on that hit though. They lose 3 members on the Selfless side, so not bad from Luminosity. Once again though with no plant, although this time with a full losing bonus. So you can see 4 AKs, they have all the utility. The Op and Fallen, he's only missing a Molotov. But so far, this has been fantastic from Selfless. So, I mean, we mentioned it. This is also a good map for Luminosity, so they're putting up a very, very staunch defense. Nifty wants to do a delayed timing peek. Not going to find anything initially, so he seeds back to an angle towards alt mid.
And once again, Fallen's actually going to find the first kill this round as he gets himself up on top and finds that shot from Banana. This may pull back that A push, which Luminosity has been so fond of doing so far in this half, but they're going to control the apartments as per usual. But Selfless is playing a much more passive A-style defense. Now, they're not really trying to screw around with the apartments all that much. There's only been 1 or 2 rounds where they've gotten really aggressive, but this is also the first time in a while where we've seen Luminosity find that first pick so early on in the round. So like I said before, this may end up changing their game plans closer to the B site instead.
Well, and this is where they get dangerous when they have this man advantage for so long. This is, and all the utility as well, they're able to bring into this round. This is where they can really mess with your head as a defender and cause you to second guess the kind of positions you're playing in and pull you away. Really kind of make you think the hit is coming somewhere else. So once again, it's just back to this take control of top mid, and they can choose whether to fall back. But this has forced the defense in A. It's going to be on mainline and Mitch. It's forced them to be a little bit more passive. No one pressuring, no one gathering information. All they can hear is these shots from Fallen. So Selfless is just very split across the map, and here's the information gathering plays. Worked perfectly last time for mainline. That time the timing isn't with him, and he falls away.
He's going to be able to escape without taking any damage, though. Fur could have peeked around and really done some big damage to him, or just outright eliminated him, but that's not going to be the case this time. Again, though, just like we've seen in a lot of rounds before as well, Luminosity running that timer down to a very dangerous point, trying to push back in, but mainline spotted this. He's going to get flashed and stuck behind. He won't be able to react to this. That was a perfect flashbang, and it falls to Mitch, but he's not going to find any kills this time. FNX will find that frag. They get control, and in a 4v2, those last men alive, Nifty and Uber, they're still stuck on that B-bomb site, so they're going to have no choice but to fall back and save.
Yeah, this is kind of that issue of losing that first player so early on. As you could see, Selfless, because they didn't have the intel of what was coming, they had to split 2 defenders at each bomb site. And with the rotations being so far away, there's no chance for them to get back into this when they have 4 opponents they have to face in that A site. So good round from Luminosity, the opening pick, and then just pressuring Selfless over towards A, but not committing until they know it's the exact right moment. Nifty and Uber will just have to bring these forward. There's no hunt going to be going on because, and we've mentioned a couple times, LG doesn't have a great economy. They haven't been able to build anything up without those bomb plants. So if they lose weapons here, they're very valuable at the fragile moment that Luminosity's bank is in.
Some updates, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, from the other games. Currently, Kona versus C9. Cloud9 is leading that one 7-1. Team Liquid versus Splice has just started. Splice has won the pistol round, but that's the only round that's played off so far. Same thing for Energy versus Optic. Only 1 round has completed, and Energy has taken control of the pistol round.
Fallen again over towards the B bomb site with his AWP. This is where he got the opening pick last time, so testing his luck again. Selfless, meanwhile, Nifty's taking an angle, but it's another push in halls for mainline and Mitch. Taco fell to this on the 4th round. It looks like he's being a little bit more cautious with it, at least for the moment. And there's a pop flash to break up, but it's actually not going to do anything. So he falls again, same exact play. And with that kill, they're just going to fall away. Fur's not ready to kind of trade anything out, jumping in a balcony. He had to be much more careful with that. So it's all on Fallen now, going to find something. Relics right behind Spindles, doesn't want to peek. And there it is.
Wow.
He does it, and Fallen whips over very nicely. That wasn't the target he was aiming at initially.
So he's going to be having a nice reaction to that one. Unfortunately, FNX gets a bit too aggressive, runs into that Molotov, and Uber is going to find him all completely blind. So they trade it right back, and now they have the advantage again. 3 left alive here for Luminosity, and they're switching the hit up back over here towards the A bomb site. Thankfully for them, it'll be a 2-2 defense split. Nobody's rotated over there towards Highway to act as a swing player as soon as they find out where the actual hit's going to be working its way towards. And also take a look at the fact of how much damage he's taken here too. Mainline has to be right front and center for most of this as they go around Rap side now. Luminosity, they're definitely going to be committing themselves to this site. Inferno will try to find his way in on the porch side.
Double pit setup, though, for Selfless, and in this kind of a situation, it can be so difficult. No Molotovs for Luminosity. They just have some smokes to allow them to get into the site, but if Mitch and Mainline can play this well and just stay alive and wait for the rotations to come in, that can be such a nuisance. It can prevent Luminosity from setting up in any kind of good post-plant positions, although neither one of them have eyes on this. There's a flashbang. Mitch, he spots one running into the site. He does grab that kill. Now they've just got to worry about, they've just got to contain themselves and stay alive in pit. No reason to get over-aggressive here. It's a 4-on-2. Wait for your teammates.
Falls now, or gets himself into the responsibility of holding back the rotations that are moving in, but Cole, he's actually found that first kill. They got a bit over-aggressive, so that takes down Mitch. And in the meantime, Fallen is waiting for these players to rotate in from the other site. Misses that first shot, though. Not going to be able to find the connection, and now Cole's alone, but he's found one pickup on the main line. That's going to be it, though. Nifty, along with Uber, can overwhelm him. They roll back in, and Nifty finds that shot. So Selfless will pick up a 6. Luminosity will get themselves reset. They did find the plant, so they may be able to justify a force, but
yeah, they'll have a good buy because they had 4 survive in the previous round. They only had 1 fall, so plenty of money on the Luminosity side to come right back into this. I think everyone can have AK-47s. Fur can actually go Tech 9 if he wants to get a little bit more nades and utility for his team. But Selfless responds with a very nice passive double pit setup. Mainline stays alive very, very long in that, even without a kill. That allows that rotation to be so much more effective because Cold and Fallen can't work together to really isolate one spot and defeat half the retake.
Fur doesn't even have to downgrade himself to that Tech 9 as well, since 3 other players are able to get a full utility stack going. So Luminosity are still in a fine shape to buy up in this round. And once again, going back to taking control of apartments, Mainline should have been able to spot at least 2 or 3 of those players, so definitely not going to want to risk with re-peeking that again. Taco, though, moves up pretty quickly as well, in a position to push himself out balcony. Perfect flashbang, but nobody noticed him at first. FNX, though, takes him down, but Relic is going to respond, and nobody's noticed him hugging the pole over here. He just taps away. Mitch helping out with that, too. He picks up the kill on the Taco, and there you go. Another round that's shut down by the members of Selfless, and Relic specifically picks up a 4K.
Yeah, that was so sick, actually, from Luminosity, until they never realized that Relics was just playing at the pole. He had so many easy kills, no one even shot back at him. But once they spot Mainline, and Mainline doesn't drop that smoke end of halls, they're just pushing forward. The idea is, if he doesn't drop that smoke, we're just going to go right through it, and a pop flash works perfectly. They get the opening kill, but Relics holds on from there. A big, big 4 kill for him. 7-4 for Selfless, and they're facing pistols again from the Luminosity side, so looking to have a very nice first half.
And so, now for Luminosity Gaming here, back to the split style of play. They're going for earlier control of Banana here too, moving both Fallen and FNX up towards that, while 3 others split themselves, going through mainly just the long haul right now inside of the apartment, so definitely going to try to split the defenses up. However, that B-push has already been abandoned. They've fallen away from it now. And it looks like they're going to be regrouping because of how far pushed up now Cold's been able to get himself here. But it's all about finding that entry, and that's where they've struggled in quite a few rounds, and it's just fallen to pieces from there. If they can't cause some chaos on the Selfless side by picking off a player initially, then it's probably not going to go very well after that. Nifty finds a first kill on Rap side. Mainline finding some more. There we go. Cold Zero does surprise by pushing out in the balcony, but Mitch trades that one out, and it looks like they've got this under their control. 4-on-1, Taco the last minute alive, and Mitch is going to have no trouble picking up that final kill on the Taco.
8-4, this is huge. Again, no plant in that round for Luminosity. You're going to come into this with AK-47s. They're going to have a couple members that are a little bit light. In fact, Fallen has to go down to the Galil just to have, you know, all the nades that he could want. Fur is going to be on the Tech 9 for the same reason. And even FNX on a Galil. So not the strongest buy out of LG, still dangerous. But on the Selfless side, it is a good amount of money building up. 8,000 on Nifty, 8,000 on Mitch, and even 8,000 on Uber. So plenty of availability to drop weapons. And there's that delayed peek down mid for Nifty. Sees absolutely nothing. Hasn't seen much with it when he's done it throughout this half. And even without any pressure being put upon him, he's just going to fall back towards the corner. So a default setup out of both teams to start with.
Yep, and Luminosity just playing the waiting game. Sitting back, watching out, making sure Selfless don't push out, and they're definitely not going to do so. Because every time they've tried to do it, maybe one exception, when they made that very aggressive push down mid in like the 5th or 6th round, they've been dispatched pretty easily by the members of Luminosity Gaming when they've tried to get aggressive. So we're not going to be too tempting to try and do that again, as they mainly just hold back onto the bomb site. Uber is actually going to be boosted up, I think, up on top of second oranges or new box, as they place him in that position right now. Looks like second oranges. So he'll be able to try and catch some of these players if they did end up pushing, but they're wasting so much time with it now. I mean, they're even going to get the re-smoke off. They're going to try to go for the take, though, because the bomb has just been relocated over here, and they're moving in. They're not going to find anything early on here just by spraying through. Selfless are posted down, and they are not moving out until Luminosity roll in.
When the smoke clears, it's going to be a hit. There's one member in mid. That's going to be Cold on a little bit of a lurk. Not too aggressive quite yet. He's going to let his teammates make the first noise. There it is. They have to run through a little bit of fire. Uber almost gets caught out in the open. Mitch falls to that lurk. Uber gets one. Relic's still alive in the back of the site. He's got to do more. There's only 2 members here, and they haven't gotten into the bomb site yet. The rotation has arrived. He almost doubles him up, but he does get the second kill. That's beautiful out of Nifty. Just in the nick of time, he arrives, and Cold in a 1-on-3 again. Going to peer towards CT spawn, but can't catch sight of mainline. 9-4 for Selfless. They are stumping Luminosity.
Selfless, big strides being made here. For Luminosity, they just look disorganized almost here, walking their way into these sites, sort of haphazard strats they're trying to employ towards the end of the round, and it's just not working out for them. And even mistakes like that where they line up, and Nifty's just able to almost double it up. That should not be happening for Luminosity, a team that just won the major a little under a month ago.
Yeah, this is, yeah, they do look a little bit, even on some of their tactics leading into the executions, much more slow paced. They don't seem to find the openings they normally do. And then just, I mean, rounds like this where they just feel very disorganized, getting punished by a standard push down mid, not ready for it. So Selfless throwing some really cool things at him. And Luminosity's not able to recover. Or FNX, excuse me, he does get a second kill. So he's got a 1-on-2. Get a third here. Is he out of bullets? Yep, he is. That's a disaster. Unfortunate.
Add one more to the pile of bodies there as he'll be eliminated, and Selfless get themselves into double digits now and continue. Obviously a little bit more losses that time, so the money's going to trickle down quite a bit, but they still have enough here for as it's going to be the final round of the half anyway. Luminosity, though, forcing themselves up. Not a lot of utility for those that have managed to be able to pick up AKs. Downgrades to Galil's gives them a little bit, as is the Tech 9 buy on the Fur, but for the most part here, this half has not looked very good for Luminosity at all. Thankfully, it's the T side, so there's still a very good chance for them to bounce back in the second half. But if Selfless brings a good offense as well, then that could be trouble very early on.
Well, thankfully, Luminosity also won the pistol round, because without that, this would be a disastrous half for them. Going for their 5th on the T side, it's just a standard contact push over towards the B bomb site. Relic is going to spray a couple down. Uber as well chimes in with 1, so it's a 4-on-3. It's going to have to be a retake. The bomb is getting planted, but Selfless have big advantages on this retake.
Relic's actually going to get destroyed by that nade. He's down at 25 HP. He'll want to hold back and let Mainline go first as they go for this re-entry. Banana pressure coming back in too, but Mainline completely off the mark when that first one moves in. Relic's, though, gets a good flash, and that's going to net him the first kill as they re-enter on it cold. Fallen trades that back out, but now Banana pressure is being taken back in. It's all going to fall to FNX, but he's just out in the open taking those duels. Taps the first one away, but he's not going to find the second one. Mitch is going to shut it down, and Selfless will have themselves an incredible CT-sided half here against LG. 11-4 in their favor. 5 rounds away from taking a first map.
Yeah, that is absolutely ridiculous that they are able to put that much of a half. Only 1 gun round for Luminosity in that T half. That's insane stuff. So Selfless, a nice mixture of passive defense and aggressive at the right moment. Some of the early pushes, some of the early pressure at Hall. And you could see it. I mean, Luminosity very rarely just had full control of Hall like that. So those 2 kills that came out earlier in the half when there was a push from Mainline and Mitch and Halls that actually kills Taco both times. Luminosity, I mean, they kind of shied away from it a little bit in the later stages of the half.
Some more updates, by the way, guys, from the other 5 games that are currently taking place. The ones that are relevant, of course, to the outcome of the top 4. Kekona versus C9 is 13-2 in the favor of, you guessed it, Cloud9. Team Liquid versus Splice is currently actually tied 4-4, and that is being played on Mirage. And then also Energy versus Optic, a very hefty lead for Energy at this point, but still pretty early on in the game. 5-1 in the favor of Energy.
Yeah, and that's a big matchup as well. That might be our second match of the evening. We'll try and figure that out. Which one we're going to go to? Also, maybe. I mean, if this is going to end quickly, we could just switch over to one of those other games.
Yeah, interesting prospects. Keep in mind too, since that Liquid and Splice game is pretty close. If Liquid lose that and Selfless win that,
right,
then that means Selfless will get the higher
essentially
seed.
In.
Yep, Selfless gets the higher seed regardless of the outcome of that second map, because they'll beat Team Liquid in a tiebreaker.
That's a little bit of a bummer if you're Team Liquid, and I mean, we mentioned, you know, we've talked about it when we saw them play last, even against Selfless, I believe it was, that Liquid held the roster upheaval. That match for Splice is no lock. I mean, they are the favorites to win it, but I'm not sure at this point if it would surprise anyone to see Liquid drop that with just kind of the state that team is in at the moment, which is a little bit of a bummer because this is a couple times now where they've been kind of, you know, especially after the major performance, given the crown of like North America's best team. And they haven't been able to live up to it. Yeah.
Like, besides the unfortunate thing that was the semifinal, they were looking good.
Just bringing the daggers out early today.
Mean,
it was a whole different. It was a completely different team, to be fair.
I suppose.
But anyways, back to this game. This is really good stuff. that we're seeing out of Selfless here. So they have a big advantage going into the T side, and I mean, it is the T side, so you can get bogged down by some good defenses. And Luminosity, even with this kind of a scoreline, there are no slouches, and we've seen them, like you just referenced, make some massive comebacks on big stages here. Now they have already qualified for the finals, so they're just kind of playing for their seeding, which at the moment they're in the first seed, and that should be able to get locked up. But they're not playing to qualify; they're playing to have the first seed, essentially.
Yeah, if they win one map, then they're 100% guaranteed to have that first seed. If they end up not, if they don't win either of these two maps, I think they're, again, it comes down to the tiebreaker. And I didn't look all of this up before we got started with the stream today, but there's probably a very, very small chance that another team ends up tying them at 16 maps, and then actually ends up taking the higher round share over them. At which point they would actually gain a seed over Luminosity. So they're basically, I would say they're like 85% secure to have the first seed, but there is that small chance that other team can tie them, and then they have the advantage from earlier on in the season.
Long extended halftime here. Maybe
which team is it from is the question. Is it LG trying to figure out how they can recover, or is it Selfless like psyching themselves out now?
I don't know, but as we talk about that, they do get things underway. So maybe they're listening in. Second half is going to go live. Selfless with an 11-4 lead on this terrorist pistol round. But they've looked dominant so far.
And here we go, guys. Now Selfless, if they win this pistol round, and assuming Luminosity do not upset on that second round by forcing up, that could lead to some very, very dangerous prospects, with Selfless potentially looking at 14 rounds before Luminosity even get their real guns up onto the board here. 10 rounds in a row, they need to come back, but look at how aggressive Fallen's being. That's not going to pay off so well, though. Fur thankfully helping him out, and Cold, too, tapping away, takes down Mitch and Mainline, and just like that, it looked like Selfless were going to be able to stop this aggression, but it's not the case. Fur and Cold recover that beautifully, and now Relics has to pull off a miracle if he wants to give his team this pistol round.
Well, I mean, they did stop the aggression. They got the opening 2 kills. It's from range. Fur and Cold just hitting some stunners from very, very, very far away. 6 shots. Cold and Fur essentially using their teammates as bait, just running down, exposing their opponents and finding those. And now LG's going to eventually just push down Relics, trading the aggression and finding that last kill. That's an all-or-nothing play from Luminosity. That could have gone horribly wrong.
But it is going to go in their favor, so they get the chance to strike back first. And the question for Selfless now is, do they force up? Do they try to go aggressive on this round, then immediately upset the Tides to keep their lead, or are they going to save? And it's going to be an aggressive buy. The exception comes in from Mainline as he downgrades himself to a P250 so he can get a bit more utility. Same thing for Nifty. But for the other 3, Tech9 armor buys. They want to immediately get back into this one. And Luminosity goes with a typical buy, as it does look like they are expecting something like this to come out from Selfless.
All 5 members of Selfless are in alt mid, and they're going to push through halls. So 4 of them are going to be there. There is Mainline with the smoke flash. You imagine that smoke would be for the truck to come over this wall, land inside the truck, plume, and allow some cover for some members to just waterfall out of halls. Lining it up right now, it's going to be a double pit setup. FNX and Taco going to be defending against that, and Fur might get aggressive in mid, but here comes FNX with the M4, can't get a single kill. Taco gets 1 before being taken out. There's Fur as well, now wrapping around. He can delay them from getting into the bomb site, but he's just going to go through halls, and he'll have a quick flank. Still the bomb not planted.
Playing it passively, waiting for the reinforcements to come back in. They're already through arches, so very quick rotation. Mitch, though, trying to take that long-range spray with the SMG. That's probably not going to pay off so well. Using the Tech-9, he might have actually found that kill, but now he's giving away his position. Fur moves out, and he actually survives that, too. So takes down Uber. Mitch trades back some damage, but it only brings him down to 14. Relics, very, very aggressive peek, and now he's got to be cautious because Cold's going to push up. He takes him down. Mitch, the last one alive. He finds 1 more frag, but it's not enough. Luminosity keep themselves alive with 2 still in the game, and they're going to defuse this one and find a second round.
Yeah, really nice really nice second round from Selfless, though. 3 kills, they get the bomb planted. Now, LG is able to salvage the M4, which is the big important weapon that was in pit. That almost spelled their doom, so they don't have any SMGs moving forward, but they have the M4 and the FAMAS, the expensive weaponry. And they do recover pretty nicely, all things considered.
So be able to buy up into this next one, and oh my goodness.
Aggressive.
Selfless.
Aggressive, of course, from Selfless.
This could hurt later on in the half, though. This is the thing, because now they're not building up. If this round goes badly, there's no way they can justify doing it again, and they're going to have to save, and that puts Luminosity within like 2 or 3 rounds of them.
The key is they need to be able to do damage in this round, even if they don't win it. If they just get stomped and they get crushed, and they don't have any kills come out on the Luminosity side, don't force any rebuys, then the money's just going to build up, and yeah, then their economy's in shambles. That's a nice nade to start things out. Softens up Mainline down to 66. Fast pace, though, there's already a push down banana. Mainline's not ready for it. And this is that nightmare situation. This could easily just get cleaned out by Luminosity from here. There's Fallen and FNX, and that's it. That's exactly what we talked about. They only get one kill. That's not enough for that kind of investment.
Luminosity kick up the pressure at just the right time, too, as Selfless wanted to hold back for a little bit longer. They cannot do that, and just now they are saving here. So it looks like probably going to do one and then buy up again. Creating some pistols here, too, so still just bringing the money down more and more. But thankfully, it's still within range to where they should be able to invest into the AKs, along with everything else they would need for that next round. But they're giving Luminosity a very, very big bonus by doing this, as that's a couple rounds now that they're going to be able to get where Selfless is not at full strength. Aggressive this time to take control of Banana, but Luminosity respond right back with some good nades. It's already destroyed Uber. He's down to 29 HP, but Mitch, with a nice first kill, grabs Fur and does give them the early man advantage. But Cold, with the potential to immediately swing this back as he hides with the SMG just behind Sandbags. Nifty spots him, though, playing it back a little bit. Connect one hit. And there we go, Cold pushing out, but also still taking some damage. He's not going to find any kills. Nifty takes him down without him finding anything.
There's a chance here for Selfless. And the rotate was on, but it actually fell back. Now coming through the smoke, Fallen's got a job to do. Can he get picked off? He's just going to fall back and survive. There's no smoke. One flashbang on Mitch. And Luminosity's already here. Can they get the bomb planted? They've got to try and take over construction as a group. And they're going to do just that. Fallen dies. And actually, there's more Deagle work coming out from Relics. He finds FNX. It's all on Taco, and he falls. Mainline salvages the AWP. Gets the final kill, so 12-7. An unlikely round for Selfless to win, but based off a very nice opening kill from Mitch, they're able to pick apart the defense.
You guys didn't need to force. See, just do it with the upgraded pistols.
Yeah, right? They're out, they buy armor and pistols, it doesn't work out, but there, just for the Deagles. And look at what this has done for the economy, because Nifty, through some of those rounds, hadn't invested anything. So even after he buys up armor, I mean, they dropped an AWP over to him. He's still got 5,600 in the bank, and Relics has 4,800, so there's some decent money on this Selfless side, but aggression down Banana. Fur's going to find an opening kill. Molotov is blocking the retreat just a little bit, but it gets smoked out. And Luminosity escapes with a 5-on-4.
We were just calling this pants down there. Was not expecting, and this is the second time now where we've seen it for Luminosity. They get aggressive. Selfless are trying to slow play things, but they're not ready for Luminosity to push whatsoever. So they'll gain a net advantage from that once more, and they'll have to look for a chance to recover. Best chance would be around Rap side, where FNX is pushed up pretty far. So by pushing out here, there we go. Mainline dink down to 12 HP. Not the best way to start it. And FNX moving in, that needs a bit too far shot, so it's not going to be able to connect on to Mainline to finish him off.
If Mainline had decided to fall back down ramp, it would have been a perfect nade. Doesn't happen though, but he's dinked. He's essentially out of the fight. He's got to be much, much more passive. Maybe play a lurk or a very support role. So it's all going to fall on Mitch, Relics, and Nifty. They're going back towards Banana. They don't have great control of it. They do have Nifty is there with the AWP, but Fur is ready. He's at a little bit of an awkward angle, but he's ready to get pop flashed through by Cold. So if Fur hears anything or has any kind of an inclination, they can drop the smoke or they can pop flash over and he can do some damage. I think he might have spotted that, but Nifty's going to win the battle. That's a good one. Smoke does come out. They know Cold's in the bomb site. He's going to stream up behind it. They've got to run through and he's going to spray them all down. Cold strong, and it's Mainline, the last one left.
Mainline, all he can have to do at this point is damage. He's going to find one frag, lost the bomb, and 20 seconds left on that clock. Will attempt to wrap himself back over now. Maybe look for one or two more pickups, but this one's over, and Cold has pulled off an absolutely massive spray combo to shut that back down. And Luminosity striking back now, put themselves within 4 rounds of tying it up against Selfless. Maybe upsetting on this map for Selfless had such a strong start.
Yeah, a little bit scary though. I mean, they did lose both pistols to the LG side, which is exactly what you don't want to do on a map like Inferno. Those pistols, we saw what it did for Luminosity. Just winning one on the terror side gave them essentially all the rounds they got, because they only won one gun round. It can be so difficult to string those together against good Inferno teams, which Luminosity is. So back onto armor and pistols. They do have a couple members who have, oh, that main's a little bit off.
Just a bit.
Yeah. Missed the window. And then Mainline's going to fall again. The aggression from Luminosity multiple times is catching off Selfless.
Fur dinking down one of these players, but he too gets dropped. So Relics is going to be able to catch that trade. Takes down Fur at a heavy cost to his own HP. But they do bring it back into a 4-on-4. Early control of the long haul is being taken, and with Rapside also in their control this early too, they might want to consider going for the execute, but they temper themselves. They fall back a little bit more. And they are going to move away from this one for the time being. More nades going in though, and just more and more damage being done to Selfless. They're not catching any breaks so far on this round. Luminosity also have a good read on the situation, as Fallen is going to be waiting for them around the corner. Catches one, but that's it. Nifty, along with some more of these guys, do end up overwhelming them. And they get control of arches, but now where do they go from here? They're still looking for the A execute, but they're taking a bit of an odd path for it, and they haven't checked inside of that cubby. FNX picks up one kill, and Taco, with no one checking inside of that cubby, they're just going to get these final 2 for free.
Yeah, closing the gap ever so slightly, and that investment, that past round of armor and Tech 9s, once again, it really hurts Uber, Mitch, and Mainline. Relics and Nifty can buy whatever they want, but the rest of their teammates are stuck far, far below. So without that planter, they were kind of relying on that. And you mentioned, I mean, we could have seen their economy fall into this weird, awkward buy situation. That's exactly what's happening here. So Selfless, the early aggression, it paid off for one round, but once they get reset, they've had to work so hard to get it back in line. More aggression from LG, winning all these early battles, no trades. He could even spam through the smoke. They were all lined up for him. He stops it, though. Now he's got to fall back because he's blind. They've got to be careful.
The problem, though, is that Selfless just have nothing to strike back with now, and there you go. Cold stacks up 3 at the end of the round. Fur finds the first 2, and Cold comes in to finish the rest of them off. Selfless don't do any damage at all that round. Luminosity will once again be given another opportunity to build up their bank. Selfless go into a buy round, but it's here that they need to impact because Luminosity are closing this gap very, very quickly, and soon they won't be able to do anything to stop it with the CT economy being that strong.
The AUG is out for Taco. Oh, no.
One of these got pulled in the Astralis game earlier, too.
I've seen some people trying to use, I mean, we always see people once in a while trying to use it, but it seems like it's getting more and more lately. Again, Ferd on Banana, many rounds, even when Selfless hasn't gone towards Banana early, he's been able to pick one off as they try and run up mid. So they haven't been able to slow him down, and he has all the confidence in the world to just take that fight.
So they're hanging back now, and again, back to slow playing things now. Not going for such active control of these bomb sites, but they do manage to get themselves inside and get control of that mid choke point. Good flash on a Fallen too. Mainline almost messing that up, but he does find the pickup on the Fallen, shutting him down. Just around the corner is going to be Fur. He has time to get his gun out, but not enough time to react to Mainline playing so aggressively. He's single-handedly giving the guys on Selfless control of this map. Not going to take it to the A-bomb site, though. Instead, looking for a B take, and Mainline again performs up to 3 kills, 3 very important kills, which has just handed this B-bomb site over on a silver platter to the members of Selfless. FNX and Cold, I don't even know if they can do anything. I think they're just going to have to yield this round over to the T's.
Yeah, they absolutely are. Cold with the AWP just wants to bring that forward into the next round. The money is not great. It's good for Luminosity. They're going to have a solid buy in the next round, but they can't afford to lose too much. I mean, being able to transfer over an AWP is a huge, huge advantage for them. FNX looks like he wants to stick around, see if he can get anyone on the hunt. Take some of these guns away from Selfless, but that's another monster round from Mainline. He's going to get a 4th kill. FNX not ready for that peak to timing. He just looks away when that comes in, so Mainline single-handedly. We saw some of his impact on the CT side with his aggression. Now on the T side, he's given him their 2nd round of the half.
And this will keep their lead alive for the time being. But like you were saying before, this needed to stop very quickly within this round or the next one. In all honesty, Luminosity would build that bank up to an essentially invulnerable point. They've done so now, and they're going to have a chance to take full control of this map, possibly, with one more round going into their favor. But Mainline, he's given them that opportunity. Now the rest of the team needs to assist as well with closing things out. As we'll see another buy coming out for the Luminosity players. The last full buy that they would more than likely be able to afford with their losing bonus just now stacking up. We'll see from Selfless if they can chain 2 together.
Fur has been the really hard person to stop. So you could see Uber with this pre-molly just prevents him from taking any kind of a wide angle. And all these nades are essentially going to tell Luminosity that there's a lot of pressure, a lot of bodies in Banana. So they're going to fall away. Fallen sticks around at an angle. That flash, though, that's going to force him back. But he still gets aggressive behind this. He doesn't want to leave. He's in a tough spot now where even if he gets 1 kill, they know exactly the cover he can fall back into. So he can get pinned down there if he misses 1 shot. It's going to come down to this first player. Mitch looks like he wants to be the one up. Inching ever so closer. They're going to wait for their teammates to arrive. Nifty's on the way. And it's going to be a set execute here. This is very, very dangerous for both sides.
Fallen stone cold on that porch angle, but even when it comes time to fire off, he's going to miss the connection. Flashbang rolls in, does some good work, but they're just going to spray right through it. Fur, though, catches 2. Still well inside of that smoke as well. Uber and Relics go down. The final 2 are going to push out, but he grabs his 3rd. And now Mitch is finally going to be able to pick up the response, but it's a 2v3 now. They're into the bomb site. The smoke rolls in. They put another one in for safe measure here, but they're even still taking damage to that smoke. Mitch now down to 57 HP. Luminosity are doing so much damage before they even get themselves into a troubled situation. So Cold takes control of construction, and this has to be a miracle hold for Mitch and Mainline, as they have no utility left to keep the members of Luminosity outside.
They do have 1 Molotov on Mitch. That can either be dropped on the bomb, and it looks like that's going to happen. They now know where he is. That's actually going to block off from coming through construction just a little bit, and Mainline comes up huge. So does Mitch with 1 kill. Mainline's only got 24. He's got to outlast this. Taco trying to fight it. He's going to win it out. So much pressure put on them, and LG is able to successfully trade into the retake. But Selfless, it's admirable. If that Molotov for Mitch comes out a little bit earlier, they can hold them back away from that retake a little bit longer. But Luminosity do win it out in the end. The plant is going to help Selfless, though, if they want to go for a buy here.
Taco catching the clutch for his team there, and now as well, keeping them in this match for the time being. Big player, one of the ones you wanted to be keeping an eye on here, is he did have a somewhat weaker performance the last time these guys played against Selfless in that iBuyPower Invitational. But Selfless back onto the buy train almost immediately here. And they're going to be running themselves low on cash, not taking any chances, just like before in the beginning portions of this round. They've not been able to string two together yet. They're running off of the virtue of the fact that they had this big lead coming in at half, but Fallen whiffing a shot again at the beginning of the round. Yields the first kill to Selfless, and they're wasting no time. They're going into this bomb site, but Cold, nicely done again. Multi-kills here as they try to push through that smoke that's covering the crossfire. Fur rotates in. He's able to assist with this one. Another kill came out from a grenade. Nifty did pick up one, but he's alone, and the best thing he can grab now is going to be that plant. Fur racing to stop it, but it looks like it's going to, at the very least, go onto the floor. That's it, though. Luminosity win yet another round.
Yeah, that is sick from LG again. So the buy comes out for Selfless, and they can't make a little bit of an investment. They just can't make too much from it. So Luminosity has done just a little bit more to close the gap. It's 12-13. Selfless has watched this lead slip away, not able to string together rounds on the T side. With that plant, I mean, we've seen them go for crazier buys, you know, in this half from the Selfless side. And they are going to invest again. Uber buys out completely with Tech 9 and utility and armor. The rest of them have this buy up as this losing bonus builds, but it's not super high yet. It's only going to be 3 rounds if they lose this. It's only 2 rounds at the moment, so they're going to need a plant.
Looks like it's going to be some pretty quick action once again as they push themselves up Banana, but Luminosity, they've gotten the read on this one. Taco just going off. 3 kills for him. Mainline, Uber, and Mitch all go down. Relic's the last one alive. He may be able to find that kill into Taco, but just like we had in that last round with Uber as the last player up and rolling, what else can he do? He can't even get control of the site. There won't be a plant this time, and he'll be shut down by Cold. Tie game now. Luminosity, they've made this massive comeback from 4-11 down at the start of this half, and now there's going to be a pause from Selfless.
Selfless just hasn't done a good job of trading. They do okay on the first kill. Even if someone from Luminosity opens things up, they can trade him off. It's the second player that comes in that is just completely wrecking house. Look at Cold and Fur. 26 kills on Cold, 25 on Fur. I mean, this is a sick performance from those two. I mean, the 2 stars of the different eras of Luminosity are both coming alive and tough to beat. Relic's at 22 kills for Selfless, but they've got to figure something out on their T side because all they've really fallen into now, because they seem to have been stumped, is these heavy 4- or 5-man pushes towards this B bomb site, and they're getting multi-killed, whether it's jumping through the smoke at Fur and he gets 3. That round, I mean, they just swing out a Banana fighting in fire. 3 kill there for Luminosity, so difficult for Selfless to really kind of figure out where they want to go, because even when they spread out and do some slow defaults, we saw some other players with aggression across the map able to get at least 1 opening pick and then get away.
Some more updates from the other games. The first one between Cloud9 and K-Kona has concluded in the favor of Cloud9, 16-9 in their favor, which essentially means that C9 should be guaranteed a top 4 seeding at this point in the grand finals. Should not have trouble closing out the second map to make that a 100% chance, since it is against K-Kona. The real surprise, though, is just how one-sided this Optic versus Energy game is going, as that is currently 13-5 in the favor of Energy at this point. Optic is striking back a little bit on the second half, as they've won the first 3 rounds, but it's currently in the first gun round of that second half as well, where maybe we can see a turn, but Energy does have a big lead going into it. Beyond this, the only other game, of course, that you guys should be watching out for is Team Liquid versus Splice, where again we have possibly a bit of a surprise. Splice is leading in that game 13-7. And that is on Mirage at this point in time.
Yeah, not boding well for Team Liquid, thankfully. For them, it's looking like Luminosity is making this comeback. So if Luminosity is able to beat this, then they're still going to be tied with Selfless. It'll still come down to this last map between, you know, Splice and Liquid, and then Selfless and Luminosity. But that Energy and Optic game is pretty interesting, especially considering the fact Energy with God B. I mean, you want to talk about the impact an in-game leader can have. He's really starting to mold this team into a pretty scary prospect. So will be cool to see them at some of the upcoming lands face up against some of the European competition after the bright spot we saw at Counterpit earlier this year. But it's all on this. Selfless takes a tactical pause. They bring an AWP. They bring 3 AKs and a Tech 9 into this round. Some decent utility as well. 4 smokes, 2 Molotovs to work with into this. But Selfless have got to get on the winning streak, and they've got to string them together. That's the big thing. Even if they win 1 round, it's not going to matter too much if LG can immediately respond.
So they've slowed it down by a huge degree, though, but that does not mean Luminosity themselves would not try to get aggressive, as They're posted up in all these sort of early angle positions where you would normally see Selfless having to get through first. They're going to try to stop this before it even gets close to the bomb site, as you can see. And in the event that doesn't go so well, they've got plenty of room to fall back from and get away from some of the other hot spots now that Selfless are going to try to push. But still, back to the default sort of setup here, not looking for any fights early on in the round. And Luminosity does seem to be giving them a little bit more room as they're moving away now, keeping Cold inside of the cubby there around Rap side, and also having Fer to support it. In the event Selfless would want to take control of that, maybe try to do a bit of a split to control the B-bomb site through taking that avenue. But when it comes to B, this would actually be the best round for them to try and go for an aggressive push on it, because they really only have Fallen to defend it. The other 4 players are fully committed to this A site. Selfless, if they stay here, they could be walking into a trap. But I think they're wise to that now, and they are going to fall away and change this up to a B hit instead.
It looks like it might be a fake, though. It looks like they're going to send at least one player. They do. The smoke executes over towards the A site. Cold reads this initially, but those smokes pull him right back. It's just Fallen who's got to hang on, but he gets 2 kills. Once again, struggle trading, and that's a brilliant play from Fallen. He could go for more here, but why? He's already got his team a huge lead. The rotation is on. He's bought time. And Fallen single-handedly annihilates the dreams of Selfless after the pause. It looked so good. The fake worked. It isolates Fallen at the B bomb site, but how do you top a play like that? 2 kills and just survive for your team?
They're going to go for this kill after the timer. They've got him boxed in now. His time's expired and he goes down, so rip Nifty's money. He's going to have so little heading into this next round, considering he invested for the op. $100.
That's a little
awful.
I mean, that's some of that inexperience just coming in as one of the new guys into this level of play. I mean, at that point, with the clock dwindling down, you do just have to go die. It seems counterintuitive, but he can't bring anything. He's got a Glock and no armor to this round, so a little bit unfortunate. Smart play, heads-up play from Luminosity, though.
So, might be back to the quicker style of plays now. It's actually, they're just going to rush up mid, it would appear. Mitch already moving through, trying to take control. Fer responds, though, as he takes up that first kill. Mainline picks up his own, but now FNX is firing through that smoke. He's even going to grab one there. Almost a second, too. Uber's down to 24 HP. The rotations are already coming in from the B-bomb site here. This is going to be desperate. And Taco just destroys the remaining players that attempt to make a take there. It's not going very well at all. Luminosity, they've made this comeback, taken the lead, and then are now 1 round away from winning this first map here.
Yeah, Selfless is going to be kicking themselves after that first half. Not able to put anything on the board on the T side. At least this time, Nifty's got something to work with. He's got a Galil. Relix is going to be on a Tech 9. He's got utility as well behind that. But Selfless, this is their last chance. Backs against the wall. Got to make something happen, and they haven't had any opportunities. They haven't even looked that great in some of these rounds. Now, that's a good start. Uber finds Fallen right through the smoke. Fer is still here, and he's using a lot of bullets that they don't want to get aggressive through the smoke. They still don't know. There could be 2 more on the other side still. There's the pop flash. Now they're going to come through. Fer completely blind. They delay it a little bit. Nice find from Relix. 4-on-3 situation as Cold has chimed in. Taco, he turns around, maybe expecting a pop flash from his team, but that gives Mitch the opportunity he needs to get that kill. FNX gets re-aggressive in balcony, and it's a 2-on-3. Selfless, they have the B bomb site. They got to get this plant down and defend against a retake to keep their hopes alive.
Selfless, they got the bomb out of here as well, just before we saw FNX make that aggressive push. If that had been about 10 seconds earlier, he might have been able to drop the bomb and again turn this round on its heels. But for the time being, Selfless will have the big advantage here, but Luminosity, they've already pulled off some incredible clutches so far in this second half. Now they have the chance to do another one in the 2v3 with everybody on Selfless dug in. Not a whole lot of utility here. They've got this one Molotov to try and toss in, but it's going somewhere where there's nobody posted up at all from Selfless. That's not going to do anything for them. Mainline finds the first frag on FNX, and the last one alive is completely blind. Uber picks it up. Selfless as well. Not done fighting just as of yet. And they are 1 round away from taking this into OT.
Yeah, when all else fails, just get an opening kill through the smoke. Thanks, Uber. That works out well. 14-15, one last chance. They have to force overtime here. They have watched this lead dwindle away. It was 11-4 for Selfless after the first half. And it's 11-3 for Luminosity at the moment in the second half. AWP in Nifty's hands, AWP in Fallen's hands as well. Looks like they might want to go for the boost, but it's at least called away. Fallen, he's got to be careful. Can't get too aggressive. He's just going to smoke things off from far away, and there comes the boost. Once that smoke gets plumed, Nifty's up top. Is Fallen going to pre-fire this? Is he even going to peek it?
Before he spotted that hand, but not going to catch the peek, unfortunately. He's got a bit scared of that, so took the shot early on, and now I don't even think Selfless are going to want to try that again. They're just going to sit back now and play the more passive style.
Yeah, another smoke comes out. This is allowing 4 players from LG to be over towards the A bomb site. We did see Selfless get aggressive through the smoke last time, but This, I mean, that was when they had an opening pick. They knew more than likely there would just be one player there. They just made that gamble. Now they can't do that because Fur might be right beside Fallen, and then they just get melted. Molotov in mid to slow things down. And this is that trap you spoke of last round. It's happening again. It is set, and it looks like Selfless is going to fall into it. This could be a disaster of a round for them. They have top mid. Fur goes for the peak. Molotov is out as well. Fur gets a kill, and his teammate falls away. But Mainline with the trade. Relics with one as well. Down to a 3-on-3.
Moving back in now, focusing on port side, but there's Taco with another great kill. Shuts out Mainline. Does not allow him to fall back, and also they don't really have a good angle to try and take him down. He's completely blind right now. This is their best chance to get in, but he's recovered. Shuts down Nifty, and it all falls to Uber. He's not going to be able to pull it off. Taco closes out this map with a 3K, and that's going to be LG taking control of the first map in this best-of-2 series.
Yeah, that's rough if you're Selfless. For the playoffs, you're up 11-4. You have a solid first half. Can't put anything together in the Selfless second half. The Selfless half. Really nicely done from Luminosity. That comeback is sick stuff at this stage. So with that win, I'm pretty confident they've just secured themselves the first seed from North America. I think it's pretty much impossible now for anyone to catch up to them. So congratulations to Luminosity. I mean, we knew all day they'd be at the finals, but now we know for sure that they will be at the in the first seed. So with that, we are going to take a break between maps. There still are some other games going on other streams, so check them out. Keep track of them because we're keeping track here. And when we come back, we're going to bring you the game that has the most impact on the playoff scene coming up. We'll figure that out during the break, and we'll be back to let you know which one it is.